little bit under $400,000. Those are agencies that support our city, and we fund them with certain things. A couple major road projects continue. The 5-laning of Sullivan Street, the 5-laning of Hughes Road. They were funded last year. They'll go through this year. You can see them start to materialize, and it's really going to make a difference in our traffic. Three Springs, a facility that was such a negative in the city is turning into such a positive. It's going to turn into a community center. We're currently doing a study right now on how we do a phase one. Council in this budget has funded it with about $1.5 million for a phase one renovation. You're going to start to see some really neat things happen at the Three Springs facility there on Browns Ferry. Home Place Park was recently funded in the last couple of days. That's the park in historic downtown Madison between the big Sealy project that's going on, the avenues of Madison, and also where the football stadium is, but also the new middle school will be. Just a fabulous facility that in turn is going to house about 700 people to be able to watch concerts. I can't wait for that to take place. And then there's about $2 million in a joint project between our schools and our city to fund the infrastructure for the new middle school. One of the things about it, and so many times Madison gums up in the morning and the afternoons because of the school traffic. This is going to be something we would proactively make a difference and get ahead of the game. Very proud to have worked with our school district on that, and it's funded in this budget. So let's talk expenses for a minute. Where we're going to have flat revenues, we're pretty much going to have flat expenses. On about a typical $8 million expense with all of our departments, we only increase at about $350,000. The great news for citizens, that includes about $1.5 million in engineering projects that in turn I want to tell you a little bit about. That's the resurfacing of Westchester Road, the resurfacing of Madison Boulevard between Westchester and Production. Those are areas that are just needing bad resurfacing. That's about $450,000 worth of repaving just right there. 2 roundabouts, one at Balch and Gillespie. Yes, we know the pain that that's causing, and we're going to put a roundabout in place that we're going to do internally that we hope to have open by the start of school next year. And then another one at Lime Quarry, Graphics Way, Graphics Drive over by Intergraph. That continues to build up as far as traffic as Town Madison expands, and we're going to get ahead of the game ready for that. We also are doing some work on Browns Ferry as far as a culvert that needs to be replaced, just a dangerous little culvert. And then in the western Hi there. Many times we talk about Madison's history, and so many of us think we have to go back a long, long way to tell people how we got to where we are. In this case, I'm going to go all the way back to about 2008 and tell you how 2 projects, the Target Center and this other one, Madison Hospital, come together and how it's made a significant impact in the quality of life of the City of Madison residents. So the story actually starts in 2007 when our mayoral team put together a game plan on 5 primary areas we'd work on if given the chance and elected mayor in the City of Madison. It all comes down to roads, schools, creating more sales tax revenue, doing it by hiring an economic development specialist, and lastly, just being more open and accessible. So we won, and we started the process of doing that. One of the first things that came about from that was the 2008, and I'll call it a battle, when both Huntsville Hospital and Crestwood Hospital wanted to put a new hospital in Madison. We always knew the mayor's office would not make that choice. The con board out of the state would. What we could do, though, is once one was chosen, we could help it get accomplished as quickly as possible. And I'm very proud of the fact that we did. And Madison Hospital opened when they wanted to in 2012. But one person who didn't win was Crestwood Hospital. In meeting with Pam Hudson many times before and after, Pam understood one of the primary things that we were looking to do in Madison. That's generate more sales tax revenue. And Crestwood Hospital was slated to go up on Highway 72 on 18 acres. It would have been easy for Crestwood Hospital to sell that land quickly. Instead, she gave us time to go and find the perfect person for that property. It took us a couple of years, and working with Amy Fori, we in turn found GBT, a developer, and hooked them up with Target, and they in turn looked at the Crestwood property. In the end, the city invested $6.5 million to buy that property, and Pam Hudson held on to it